What's up, everyone? It's Wacko. Welcome you to week 3 of NGC. This week we're up against Dr. Pog, aka Newbie, who actually joined in SDS recently to replace John Paul. Thank you so much for that. They have a pretty similar team actually, with having a Great Tusk and a Torkoal, so like a Sun team. But also this team has a Trick Room mode, which was interesting because my team is not it doesn't perform very well in Trick Room, and let's say like having to slot Trick Room on like a Yuxi or a Bruxish did not seem like the play to me. I think Iron Valiant gets Trick Room too, but and it was either that or like maybe see if I could use Enamorous to do something, but um they always have like the one up on me with like Galarian Slowbro Terra, so it didn't seem like an option. So on their side they have Terra Galarian Slowbro, which is a mon that I definitely see a lot of potential in. Its stats just really aren't that great. Like it has bulk, but it's like Clefable-esque bulk. Except it's special defense. Like it's basically like a swapped Clefable in a way. I feel like it maybe doesn't keep up super well in Gen 9. It definitely has some games where like it's good, but it doesn't seem like a mon that like you'd want to bring to every game. But with Terra, maybe that helps quite a bit. I don't know. I haven't really seen a lot of Galarian Slowbro in Gen 9, especially Terra Galarian Slowbro, but there's definitely the idea there. There's also Great Tusk, Milotic. So Great Tusk, I actually didn't think would come versus me because I have Corv, Yuxi, Rotom like my team, and I have 2 offensive fairies in my top slots, and I'm pretty much forced to bring one of my fairies. One's fairy flying, so I'm like, Tusk is probably not coming. So it made me think to bring Moon, but Tusk was like the one thing that made me not want to bring Moon. Milotic was actually probably the most problematic mon for me to handle because I wouldn't know if they'd run like Flame Orb or if they would run especially defensive for like Pyroar. I'm pretty sure you don't even need like special defense for the Pyroar. Like Pyroar just really can't do too much to Milotic, to be honest. Um, so there's that, and then like it can just kind of status my whole team with like Toxic or like Scald Burn everything, and it doesn't really die. It also has like Haze, so like Haze is like the big issue for like um, Enamorous, either Haze or like Dragon Tail. And then there's Torkoal, which I was like, I guess if you're gonna bring Sun, like I guess you can bring Torkoal, but I actually didn't think Sun looked very good into me. Because like it would be like Torkoal is like the best mon into me itself with like Lava Plume Body Press or like Flamethrower or Solar Beam Body Press or something like that. Because his 2 Chlorophyll Grass types do not get Weather Ball. They don't get any coverage to hit Corviknight basically, so Corv can just come in and just like click Roost and U-turn pivot for free. So I didn't expect him to want to bring Torkoal. And then there is Mega Mawile, which is the main like focal point of the team, where I was like, I cannot let this guy get up a Trick Room because Trick Room, Mega Mawile like basically kills my whole team because you get like Thunder Punch, or maybe it's Thunder Fang. I don't know. I think it's like Thunder Punch, but you get Fire Fang and Thunder Fang. I don't know why it gets Fire Fang, but it fucking does. And that after like a Swords Dance is just gonna kill Corviknight. And then for the rest of the coverage, like you just need dual stab versus my team. And basically my best way around it is like Ogerpon Sturdy, which like Ogerpon isn't beating Mega Mawile. And then other than that, it's like wait for Trick Room to come out, and then Sucker Punch doesn't do anything to like Iron Valiant. So there's that. Heatran was kind of annoying too. My 2 fairy types have good coverage into it though, which is nice. Close combat or Aura Sphere with Iron Valiant or Earth Power / Superpower with Enamorous. Also, my grass type actually matches up pretty well into it with both Stomping Tantrum and Ivy Cudgel doing a lot of damage. I guess it matches up well into like Corviknight, but Corviknight is mostly just clicking U-turn anyways and like getting Rocky Helmet Chip on the... It's mostly only coming on a Mawile, or it's like defogging on my Milotic if my Milotic is like clearly not competitive. So there's that. Mienshao, I didn't really look too much into Mienshao, but I figured it probably couldn't really do much to, like, Ival or Corv or Yuxi, and to an extent Nidoqueen, but I know it gets triple Axle now, so, like, I guess it probably beats Nidoqueen and, like, Enamorous Therian pre-Terra now, but, wasn't entirely sure. I figured it would probably come, though, because... I feel like maybe Scarf Mienshao like kind of has some play here. I guess we'll see. Executor, Tangrowth, they're like the Chlorophyllmons. I guess Tangrowth is more of like Fizz Def Tank, which I could have seen it coming for like Ogerpon or being a switch into like Rotom Wash, and not letting Rotom like chip everything down because the Tang can just like pivot around, but I figured he wouldn't want, like, free Pyroar switch-in, so I figured he probably wouldn't bring Tangrowth. And also, like, not having Weather Ball or anything to hit Corviknight, like, was just kind of whatever. Same for Executor, like, Executor really just can't do anything. Alolan Executor gets Flamethrower, but, regular Executor doesn't get any, like, fire coverage. It doesn't even get Weather Ball for some reason. They really should give those Mons Weather Ball, but for my own sake, I think, fuck, they don't get it. Actually, Executor doesn't get any fairy coverage either, so it can't really touch Roaring Moon either. But Roaring Moon doesn't get defogged, so... yeah. What else? Gligar. I've had trouble beating Gligar in the past, but on this team, I don't really think I care too much about Gligar coming. If he slots Gligar over, like, any of his other, like, top 6 minus Torkoal, like, if he slots it over, like, his top 3 plus Mawile, Heatran, Mienshao, then I'd be pretty happy about it, I guess. It's not really, like, a good special tank. Like, it can click Toxic, but it's gonna lose to Enamorous eventually, and it's not gonna tank, like, Life Orb boosted hits from Iron Valiant. And last but not least, he has his other Trick Room setter in Mimikyu, which I figured would be coming, because it's just an annoying mon, and, like, yeah... funnily enough though, like, Pyroar just doesn't really give a shit about, like, anything it does, unless it's, like, SD Drain Punch, but, talking about my prep now, so of course I have to bring Enamorous. This week I'm running Calm Mind, Taunt, Earth Power, Draining Kiss, so just kind of there to, like, chip things down, maybe get an endgame sweep, if possible, and the reason I have Taunt is actually for, like, Milotic, so Milotic can't just, like, recover spam me. Like, if he clicks Toxic, then he can't do that, or if he wants to click Haze, he can't really do that. I figured Haze would probably be better over Dragon Tail in this matchup, but I guess you never know. My Iron Valiant is coming again with Life Orb, Moonblast, Aura Sphere, Thunderbolt, and I don't remember what my last move actually was. Did I... is this the replay? I think, yeah, it is a replay. Okay. I actually don't remember what my last move was, which means it wasn't important. I'm also bringing Corviknight, so I'm not bringing Roaring Moon just because I didn't really want to bring Moon into, like, Tusk Mawile. Even though I think Moon can maybe beat Mawile with, like, EQ, I just didn't really feel like dealing with it, to be honest. Probably would have been good in the matchup, I just really couldn't slot it, because I had to slot Corviknight. And Corviknight, at first I was like, man, I really shouldn't bring Corv into, like, a Sun team, but at the same time, it's kind of my only thing that can handle Mawile for, like, a turn or two. And it's my best removal for the team as well, because I get Defog, and Body Press is, I suppose, decent for like Heatran if he wants to go into Heatran. Doesn't want to like go hard Heatran. And then I get U-Turn and Roost. Other than just Fizdef Rocky Helmet, like it's basically just here to switch in on Mawile once and then die. And then we got Ogerpon Cornerstone, which is running Swords Dance, Bullet Seed, Ivy Cudgel, and Stomping Tantrums. The Bullet Seed is actually for the Mimikyu, so I can break its disguise. If he wants to come in on Stealth Rock, and I'll talk about my Stealth Rocker in a second too. He's taking Stealth Rock chip, and then he's taking the Disguise chip, and then Mimikyu should die to like 2 Bullet Seeds. So if I get like a little lucky, I should always beat the Mimikyu. And then other than that, like Ivy Cudgel and Stomping Tantrum just kind of hit like everything else. And then I Bullet Seed the Tusk if he brings it for whatever reason. But Cudgel is really like threatening a lot of his team, or Stomping Tantrum specifically. My next mon is going to be Uxie, so there's not going to be any Nidoqueen or Rotom Wash. Rotom Wash was really close to coming, because I actually think Rotom Wash's matchup didn't look bad. It was just I think I preferred Corviknight's bulk into Mawile over like Rotom, and I just didn't really think I needed Rotom. And my other mons either prevented Trick Room from going up, or they were just like better options, because like of course I'm going to try bringing Iron Valiant, because that thing's set variety is just insane in prep, and then when you see it on the screen you're like, oh man, what is it gonna do? But yeah, my next one's Uxie, running Psychic Noise, U-Turn, Stealth Rock, and Heal Bell. I figured I'd run Heal Bell because I figured he'd probably bring like Toxic Milotic or something like that, or like Toxic Heatran. I thought maybe it'd be a bit of a slower game too. That kind of offsets my Pyroar from taking too much chip, because I'm bringing Mega Pyroar with Flamethrower, Scorching Sands for the Heatran, and I'm running Psychic Fangs, but Psychic Fangs is only for, I guess in the case he wants to run screens, but it's to break the Air Balloon on Heatran, if he brings Air Balloon Heatran. That's literally the only reason I'm running Psychic Fangs, but I guess Psychic Fangs also has the dual utility with breaking screens just in case they bring screens. And my last move is Toxic, because I figured I could at least catch my Milotic, and then my Milotic wouldn't be able to beat my like Enamorus 1v1, and my Milotic is like the only thing that's stopping Enamorus from sweeping like turn 1, to be honest. So there's that. So getting into the game, let me switch my view to the replay view. So they're gonna bring the Galarian Slowbro, of course, they have to. Mimikyu, Milotic, Mega Mawile, Heatran, and Mienshao, so kind of what I expected. I guess I thought maybe they would bring Tusk, but after looking at my team, I was like, oh, Tusk just kind of loses to everything I have. Like, Tusk just isn't good into my team, like, at all. I just have way too much stuff for it. So anyways, my lead, I decided to just lead Pyroar because I figured it would pressure something immediately, and depending on their lead, either, like, if they led Milotic, I could just click Toxic, or if they click Mimikyu, I could just, like, break its disguise, like, they're not gonna lead Mawile. Heatran, I can get, like, the ability, and the item, information off of it, and then, like, Mienshao could be Scarf, but I have switch-ins to Mienshao, with, honestly, Iron Valiant is, like, my Mienshao switch-in. Scorching Sands is gonna chip down that Milotic, and he's gonna Toxic me, but that's okay, because now he's gonna go Heatran as I Heal Bell, and I'm just gonna click Heal Bell, like, as much as I can, because I'm like, well, I'm not really playing to, like, stall out this match or anything, but, very useful. I have to bring in Smelly Cat on the Lava Plume, and he's going to go into my Milotic, which is not going to like the Flamethrower. However, it only does 22%, but he has taken that Burn chip and the Rocks chip, so this is actually my opportunity, I think, to go into Ogerpon now, because I can get off a Sword Stance. They could Scald Burn me, but I honestly didn't think Scald Burn would, like, matter too much here. Ivy Cudgel just kills the Glober, which means the Glober was, like, probably not, like, defensive. It might have been, like, max HP, I think, but it definitely wasn't, like, defensive. So they're gonna go Mimikyu, which is perfect because now I get to show that I have the ability to break their disguise, and of course Mimikyu is gonna die. That crit did not matter. They're gonna go into Mawile. At this point, Ogerpon has kind of done enough work for me where I think I could probably beat my Lodic without it. So even though I'm not gonna kill Mawile here because of the Intimidate drop, I am just gonna Stomping Tantrum and just do as much as I can. And Iron Hand will knock me out, but now I can just go into Corviknight, and they will be able to just click a move and do stuff. I try to defog, and I don't know why I've done this, but this is like the eighth time this has happened to me, where I click defog after like obviously about to kill something with Rocky Helmet, and then my defog fails when I could have just roosted and got HP back, but no, I guess I'm just gonna be stupid. Oh, and I still have my Rocky Helmet because my Lodic died. I guess I didn't realize that, but I don't think it really matters unless, like, Mienshao comes in, but yeah. Here, I think I actually defog because I want more switch-ins to Pyroar, honestly. They're gonna go Heatran here on my Roost. I just roosted again for, like, whatever. And here I go Enam. Okay. Yeah, I figured they probably weren't gonna, like, Flash Cannon me, so I'm gonna be able to Terra Water and then start Calm Minding. They will get off a Toxic, which is whatever. I will taunt them, so now they can't just, like, recover spam. Draining Kiss from them is only doing 9%. I'm gonna Calm Mind again, and they stay in. They actually switch into Mienshao here, which is funny because I just Draining Kiss there. And Mienshao's gonna die. Heatran's gonna come in now, and they actually protect on Heatran for whatever reason. I guess, like, protect makes sense if you are trying to, like, protect stall me with Toxic, but I suppose it kind of works for you. I'm gonna Earth Power just because I don't have to, like, risk it. And then here, I can actually live another turn from Toxic, so I'm just gonna click Draining Kiss and see how much I do. 35% isn't a lot, but I actually end up at a higher HP than I was at the start of the turn, so at this point I'm going to switch into Uxie because I think I could Heal Bell for Enamorus if I have to, and then come back in and then, like, set up again. Then I'm going to Heal Bell as they click Scald. It does quite a bit of damage. 21% is not bad damage for my Lodic into a Uxie. This Uxie is doing the Uxie thing. Is like, this is, I think, the first time I've used Uxie where it didn't die, like, immediately. I'm gonna Heal Bell, and I'm gonna Psychic Noise. Uxie's speed tier is actually, like, kind of annoying for me in this situation because I don't really know, like, what to do. But I'm just gonna U-turn for, like, my 2%. Bring in the Pyroar again. I figured he's not gonna be able to kill me unless he crits. And thankfully that happens, and he actually is going to be in range of Flamethrower now, so I can click Flamethrower. My Lodic goes down, and then Heatran's gonna come in, and it's not Air Balloon, so Scorching Sands is going to be able to take the KO. And that'll be GG's to Dr. Pog, aka Newbie, aka Artistic Nonsense. Very cool team. Very good result for me. Might have been a bit closer than it actually looked because Ian was almost dead. Pyroar was basically dead too. If he got up rocks again, or if I didn't, like, KO something there. Uxie was, like, half dead. I would have to come back in on rocks. I unfortunately didn't get to use my Iron Valiant, but I guess I got to keep it hidden. I mean, I kind of revealed what I was going to be anyways, but yeah, we'll see. I think if I have any advice for artistic nonsense, I think it would just be like maybe don't build around Trick Room as like your strategy, because if Mienshau's your fastest mon, like that's kind of a problem. Not that speed really killed you here, because I brought most of my slower mons, but I feel like Ogerpon Cornerstone shouldn't be able to just like run through your team the way it did. Like if I had brought well no, Ogerpon's my spiker. But if I had like a spiker with a spike up, I would have just won with Ogerpon as soon as that layer of rocks and spikes went up, because Mawile would have died to Stomping Tantrum, and then like nothing else is taking Bullet Seed, Stomping Tantrum, Cudgel. Um, that could just be an issue for like a lot of teams, but at the same time, I feel like that's a speed issue too, because Ogerpon shouldn't be able to just like click buttons without having to like waste a slot on Trailblaze. Um, but I kind of had like the good Ogerpon matchup here. Um, I don't know what faster mons are actually open. I think Meowscarada's open. Let me look at your team. You have Tusk, you have Mawile. I don't actually think you drafted another mon above 15 points. Unless Heatran was above 15 for some reason, but I don't think it is. It should only be like 13 or 14 in NGC. So like you could maybe slot like Meowscarada here. Actually, another issue with the team, and I think Meowscarada helps a lot here, is having a dark type, because I almost brought like Calm Mind Stored Power Yuxi just because you had no dark type, but I figured Mega Mawile was like enough for me to not want to do that. But I think like a stronger psychic type would be able to do that like pretty easily. If you ran into like Tapu Lele plus like Armarouge, for like whoever was like crazy enough to do that, or like a Terra Armarouge, so you could Terra out of like Sucker Punch from Mawile. Like Armarouge just kind of wins like automatically. But I think like, yeah, I would probably try to slot Meowscarada if you can. Um, you could either drop like some of the Trick Room mons. I don't think you need the Sun at all, honestly. Like you could drop Executor, Torkoal. You don't even need Heatran, honestly, because you have Mawile. I've used Mawile as my Fairy and my Steel type before, and I've been just fine, honestly. And you have Terra, and Terra Fairy Slowbro is like pretty good. Because I think Mawile like actually kind of works as a Steel type. It just doesn't really work as a Fairy type, but I do like it as a Steel type. As like a flying resist and rock resist, like it's a Mawile is like actually a good defensive mon. But yeah, Meowscarada also can set up Trick Room for Mawile if you wanted to run Meowscarada. So like, I think I would remove Torkoal and like Heatran and these like Sun guys and like the Mimikyu maybe for Meowscarada. You can only make 4 trades though, so I mean like I guess you have to pick one of those guys, and I also don't really like Gligar. I guess you probably keep Tangrowth, and you probably keep like Mimikyu or Gligar. But if you want to like get something better than Gligar, then I guess you could just get Gliscor is probably above the 15-point range actually. I don't know, you could do something. Actually, I guess you don't need Gligar because you have Tusk. Yeah, you don't need Gliscor. There's something you could do there for sure. If in case you need help. The speed tiers would be a lot better though, for sure. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Oh my gosh, I didn't even have... Yeah. I forgot to change the view after the game was over, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Next week we're going to face up Greg Ceo, so this is interesting. I want to look up his team right now. Because his team, he's been going crazy. I think he's like 3-0 right now, or 2-0, with like really good differential. Let me look at the standings actually. Oh, Prep already put in the game? What the hell? So I'm number 2 now. So Greg CEO, yeah, he's 2-0 plus 11. That's fucking insane. Um, Kudos to him, honestly. His team is consisting of Okidogi, Tapu Bulu, Suicune, Iron Moth, Buzzwole, Blissey, Pechacunt. Um, I'm only trying to copy the one row. You know what? It's fine. I'll just add Incineroar later. Yeah. Alright, this team. I was looking at my matchup already, and I kind of, even though his team is really fat, I actually feel like I don't mind this matchup at all. There's a lot of, there's actually not a lot of type diversity. I think there's like, what, one, two, there's 3 poison types, 2 fire types, 2 fairies. Doxbun doesn't fucking do anything. And then there's like Scissor, Suicune, Blissey. Like everything else, there's just like a lot of overlap. I guess Buzzwole, his team is very red. You got Moth, Buzzwole, Tapu Bulu. Blissey almost fits like that red. Red and orange, and then like you got the Lycanroc, Doxbun, Incineroar, Mega Scissor. That's kind of cool. Their fastest mon is 110, which is a little bit better than Dr. Pog's fastest speed tier, but still kind of slow, still kind of workable. So we'll see. It'll be a good match though, because he has got good mons and he's a really good player. So I'm thinking it's not going to be an easy game. It might be like a more fun matchup for me to prep for, but it's definitely not going to be easy. And the reason I say it's a more fun matchup for me is because I'm not facing Sun finally. Thank fucking God. I'm not facing Sun. I'm not facing, like, Intimidate garbage. Oh, yeah. Not facing Intimidate garbage. It fucking Incineroar's right there. But, you know, it's fine. Anyways, I will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.